like most black and brown men in this country, I spend a lot of time in barbershops. And those barbershops, you tend to have lots of conversations mainly about football, politics, music, but also religion tends to come up quite a bit. And the multiple, the many times I've been in these situations, and the conversation tends to come with when I acknowledge that I'm a Christian. Those barbershops tend to, in unison, ask the question: why do these pastors, these leaders, never engage with issues which black people are suffering from? Where are these church leaders who are fighting for justice and adhere to correct oppression? You see, the first response in the African proverb, the idea of pulling children out of the river, is what we would call social welfare. The longing to save the children in the river is the correct response. There's an immediate need. Nobody wants to see the children suffer. The children are drowning and someone needs to help. There is an immediate need, and an immediate response is essential. This is what we see with Jesus. People are hungry, he feeds 5,000 people. Immediate need and immediate response. However, the second response isn't one of social welfare, it's one of social justice. While some people need to provide an immediate response, others need to fight against the structures that are causing the issues, those who are throwing them into the river in the first place. The UK church has become more accustomed to the first response than the second response. Professor Robert Beckford, one of the top black theologians in this country, or actually just one of the top theologians in this country, talks about the difference between social welfare and social justice. You see, social welfare serving the needs of the community practically, and social justice campaigning and advocacy, dismantling and addressing the structures that left the community in dire straits in the first place. He says this: so we'll visit men in prison, but we won't tackle the criminal justice system, how race in sentencing works against us as black people, or challenge the media for its persistent criminalization of black youth. I think that it is shortchanging the community and it's shortchanging the gospel. You see, my personal experience of white-led, white-majority evangelical churches, there's an emphasis on personal conversion over community transformation and renewal. Let me say that again. There's an emphasis on personal conversion over community transformation and renewal. We see this. Alpha. Pretty much every church will do Alpha, and I've got no problem with Alpha because I was saved in Alpha myself. But when I go back into the barbershops, the questions such as who is Jesus, what is the Holy Spirit, how you read the Bible is not the questions which the communities I serve are asking. They're asking about the church's complicity in the transatlantic slave trade. They're asking why we have no church leaders stepping up and engaging with issues of racism. They're asking questions about where's all the money which churches get not coming into the communities which are very poor and are suffering. You see, traditionally, white-led, white-majority churches will do an Alpha or will do a food bank, and none of that is a problem. But some of the black churches I've worked with in the past have developed weekend and holiday programs that include culturally relevant workshops, projects, and retreats for inner city youth.